Transition. And Ember Celica's in the chat room.
Ember Celica!
Hello. Welcome.
I feel bad because they comment on like every YouTube video, and their name hasn't come up yet in the random drawings. But I'm pretty sure they've won dice from us before. So
there we go.
If not, it's only a matter of time.
All right.
Who's won dice?
Ember Celica.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
I think so, too.
Ember Celica, can you tell us whether you are a he or her so that we can start using pronouns? It's like that Jenkins episode of How I Met Your Mother. Him, her, Jenkins, him.
That's why I was just going with they.
I feel like we knew this at one point.
We did know this at one point.
Ember Celica might be a they. We don't know.
I think they've said something. I've just forgotten.
Yeah.
Jenkins. That's your new name, Ember Celica.
Okay.
Now, I will feel really bad if we've met Ember Celica at some point.
It's possible.
Right? That
and
would
I
be...
don't remember. I would feel so bad. Because now I'm like, who was it that we met at...
Keith.
Oh, Keith. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to... There was a guy that... they say you have never known.
Oh, we have never known.
We have never known.
Did they reveal?
No.
And still never know.
No, still never know. There was a guy that came up to me at Gen Con while I was setting up for my Rob Davio interview and was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I'm just like kind of like the default face of, oh, hey, yeah, like this is someone that probably recognized me. And then they started describing, oh, you ran that. It was like, yeah, you ran that game at a Catacon 2 years ago, and then it snapped. And I was like, oh, what?
Sounds like roomy.
Well, I know. I wasn't getting up close to the personal yet.
All right. I was just making sure I was hearing you right. I wasn't sure if there was something that went wonky.
Yeah. But
excuse me. Pardon me.
Anyways, they started talking about the game.
Hang on, I'm not done.
I can mute this, right?
There, I stopped it.
They started talking about a game I ran. Then it was like, oh, and I saw his name on his badge, and I was like, got it. I'm pretty sure I also follow you on Twitter now.
That was what did Tom do that? Our first Gen Con.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, hey Tom, how's it going? He's like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Now we're a badge.
Yeah, I have to do that with people too.
Oh, that was one of the Secret Cabal meetups, wasn't it?
No, that was we got in on Wednesday and we were just wandering the convention hall for a minute.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about when I showed up to the Secret Cabal thing and just like wandered into the line with some other people. They're like, oh, hey, Chris. I'm like, I'm standing with you guys now. I don't think you were there. Maybe it was just me.
I think that was the year that you ditched them all.
No. He was there. It was the year that I ditched them or they ditched me, more like it.
Right.
What, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Where you guys ended up coming to the Cabal meetup and then left like after an hour when the giveaway was over.
Yeah, because I showed up super late because I was...
Yeah, you were coming from...
I was coming from
stuff,
running Star Trek for Gale Force 9.
Right.
And I was like, all right, yeah, I got plenty of time to get to I'm just going to sit here and chat with you guys. You guys are fun. That's great.
Did you end up getting
No, I don't see
your press pass for PAX resolved?
the you've never known comment popping up in the Mob Crush.
It's there. It's right here on my screen.
I see. Nice to see I'm not late. And yay.
Okay, well, there's 2 other comments.
Maybe I gotta...
I think you got to hit F5.
He's on the phone.
I'm hitting refresh. So.
Okay. Oh, you're on an Apple device? It's Command F5. Sorry.
That didn't do anything.
You could also pull it up on your phone too.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it's more fun to look like she's creeping on your screen.
I know, right? Well, she can't do that for very long. I got all the secret
notes.
stuff on here.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I was gonna just look off Colin's phone because he has it up. But
By the
it's
way,
not loading.
the answer was also I don't care about pronouns and you've never met me before.
I'm glad I've never met you because then I would have felt terrible.
I wouldn't. I'm terrible. I used to be great at faces.
I'm happy.
I'm better at names now.
I'm happy your sentence didn't pause. You were like, I'm glad I've never met you. We're like, wow, it's harsh. Jeez, Cindy.
No, I would never say that.
She did not put the pause in there to like catch a breath or anything.
There are a few people that I have no desire to ever meet. I will just say that.
Wow.
But most of the people,
Namely,
I
Paul
should say-
Rudd.
what? No. But I can probably honestly
We're
say
gonna start getting angry tweets from like Paul Rudd fans. Paul Rudd's a great guy. You should want to meet him.
All publicity is good publicity.
I don't even know. I know who Paul Rudd is,
I'm
but
gonna
he's not.
I'm gonna need everybody to knock about 20 to 30% off right now.
Yeah, it seems about fair. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I would be happy to meet any
Your
of
sister's
our
hot, Wayne.
listeners. I just can't talk.
I'm listening to you now.
Thanks. I'd be happy to meet any of our listeners. They're not included in the people that I have no desire to ever meet.
Paul Rudd, if you do listen,
You should sign up for our Patreon.
yeah.
I'm indifferent. I mean,
Give us
I know
money,
who
I might
he
change
is.
my mind.
I think I know who he is.
What, Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
He's an actor.
I mean, I know that.
Oh, he was he was in Parks and Recreation. He's the guy that wanted to be mayor.
Yeah,
just
okay,
to
that's
please
who I
his
thought that
dad.
was.
Yeah.
That's who I thought he was. Why would I wouldn't mind meeting him.
Well, that's like the one likable role I've seen him
Well,
in.
I mean, he's kind of cute, so.
He's
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Whatever, I haven't
Sorry.
seen
They
Ant-Man
they
yet.
don't keep up with anything.
We are still working our way.
And also, Ant-Man.
giant.
He was in G.I. Joe.
No.
No, giant has the word ant in it.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I
Anyways,
think they might have done that in the comic. They like purposefully did G.I.-Ant-Man. When he got big.
G.I.
I'm glad I looked here at the Patreon, and I have a relationship manager now. I've always needed one of those in my life.
Just like an IT crowd.
Yeah.
I'm the relationship manager.
So,
I got that.
we got to thank you, Philip, popping up in
That
his
popped
chat,
up
but
in
the
there.
other two things didn't pop up.
It's weird.
Thank you, Philip.
How do I go to our page on Mob Crush? I don't even know.
It's
Mob
/
Crush.
boards and swords / chat.
Ember Celica, I'm not 100% certain of what the delay is from me speaking and you hearing it. You're going to have to elaborate on the thank you. Or if it's just a thank you in general, you're welcome.
Yeah, I don't even see the other
What else
stuff.
can I say but you're welcome?
Yeah, see, I don't even see it on mine. Those other two comments.
Well, you know what? Maybe they deleted them.
Mob Crush sucks.
Hey, did you know you
Don't-
can do, and you know how you have the /chat?
Yeah.
If you do /chat.light, it like, or you could do light as in LITE. It condenses it down to like just the text.
.lit.
You can either do .light or like .light. Like,
I can't see anything. You've blinded me. I see more text. I mean, I see more messages, but I can't see them.
Yeah, that's weird.
What is this crap, man?
I think that's supposed to be designed for when you put it on a stream.
It's white on white.
I know.
Why would you tell us that?
Hmm?
Why would you tell us that?
Because I've just found it out and I thought it was cool.
Oh, I got the pronouns thing now. It showed up.
There we go.
The messages exist. I can see that now,
From Ant-Man.
but I
Okay,
cannot
there we
read
go.
them. Maybe if I highlight. Nope, still nothing.
Well, which one did you do? The light or the LITE light?
I did LITE.
That's what I did.
Do LIGHT.
So much work.
Exactly.
It's 2 extra letters.
But I have to delete. That one's better.
Hey. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Wait, it's 1 extra letter.
No, all I see on this version is the same stuff plus a couple more that just came in.
Well, that's
I
okay.
have
They're not on mine either, but I don't really care
I
that
was
much.
just letting you
I
know.
finally have the thing about the pronouns.
It's
though.
probably just a desktop versus mobile thing.
I was just
I
letting you
have the
know in
things
case
now.
you wanted a different way of viewing them.
I actually kind of like this. Everything has its own box.
Those are
That's kind of cool.
like the LITE. I think is supposed to be like you can capture that and put that in the like what we screen grab for the live.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the thing, it went away now.
All right. Should we like start the show?
Yeah, we should.
Yes, we should.
I would like to point out for the record that I was on time today. Just putting that out there.
I mean, we were slightly late.
You get credit.
15 minutes. But it was still before starting time.
Your demerits have been
Look,
noted.
the things went away now.
your merits. I mean, demerits have been noted.
I don't know.
Thank you for noticing my noticing.
All right, where is the...
How nice of you to be thanked.
Sorry,
that was
I'm
something
just-
from like Johnny Bravo. It was like these polite people, like
There we go.
manners.
Okay. All right, I'm ready this time.
Okay, I am
Okay.
poised.
Sorry.
And we have memory, right?
What?
We
Life
have
memory.
Oh,
what's
For
yeah,
recording?
is
Yes,
Okay.
I cleared
Gotcha.
it off.
All right.
Either way, it's streamed. There's like 3 places getting the stream.
But it was super stressful or frustrating for him.
Well, it's just like the quality of the audio.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
Double check.
So for Christmas, if anybody wants to know what to send Chris, just SD cards in the highest capacity you can find. Just send them on in.
it's gonna be soon enough. It's gonna be a terabyte SD card.
Exactly. It'll be terabyte micro SD cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's going to be.
All right. I forgot how we do this.
Wait, hang on. I can do that.
All right. I'm going to start off with a heading in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/boards and swords, such as Evan, John, Matt, Jay, and we got Rice Moody, Roger, Sean. That seemed really weird that one person was there. Anyway, start the show now. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
So excited, guys!
Do I need the applause sign?
Yes. Can we get one?
Don't look at my screen.
Do what I want.
I got a studio sign down there. You can make that say applause.
Clap louder. Clap louder, people.
Isn't there something about clapping and fairies?
What?
Like you kill a fairy when you clap or something.
You're thinking of killing kittens. That's a completely different thing.
What?
No, it was
Something from Peter Pan.
It was
No,
in
it's
the
clap
movie
or you
Hook.
don't clap. If you don't clap,
If you don't clap, the fairy dies.
Oh.
I do believe in fairies. Like in the play Peter Pan. I do. Or no, Finding Neverland or
It was the movie Hook.
Anyways,
Return
welcome
to
to
Oh, it is Hook, you're right.
welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we have fun talking about Peter Pan, apparently, and also board games. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw.
I'm Cindy Pastorius.
I am Colin, the adjacent to Cindy.
I didn't forget my last name. I just didn't know. I didn't think about having to say it.
There's like a million Chris's, so I feel natural.
That is it, yeah. And I'm Philip. How's it going, everybody out there? This may be weird for some of you. We are broadcasting live on a Sunday, but we just got back from this really small convention you probably never heard of, and Colin's trying to like drown me out like this is the Oscars or something. I don't know what's going on over here.
Get off the stage! No, I have it set to fade, but it jumps back to the original volume before it fades.
And then fades down. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's
gotcha.
weird.
Still working out the kinks here.
You know, you could just take the slider, just go all the way to
It's
the
on a
end.
touch screen, so it's fickle.
Fickle.
Anyways, we'll have plenty of Gen Con talk, probably. Although, I got to thinking about it. Not as much as, at least, we'll be recording a second one, because we're going to talk primarily board games and stuff here. And definitely discovered that Gen Con is, for us, for our group that goes, more RPG focused.
Yeah,
But we did get some board game stuff done.
we bought board games.
We definitely came back with board
Well,
games.
I'm glad for that.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know if I bought a board game at Gen Con.
Yes. No.
I bought a Keyforge deck. Does that count?
No.
That's a tabletop game.
That is a card game. According
should
to
be a
award
tabletop game.
categories and sales and stuff, it is separate.
Which I could have done. We do have those results in.
Hmm.
But I actually have news, guys.
All right.
News.
I almost got the headphones to go off my head. I can feel it wobbling. This joke's for you. We got a 15th anniversary edition of Ticket to Ride coming out
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
from Days of Wonder. It's actually in like the next few days. In fact, by the time that I've written this, I think it's out now.
Oh okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think I did
possibly.
see something about
Um,
it being available.
By the way, these jokes were written like 4 days ago, so they could be bad. It makes sense when you this version will have clear trains, a sleeved box, and some information inside about the history of the game.
Oh yeah, I actually saw this a couple days ago.
It makes sense. You got the clear trains. The classic 15th anniversary gift is a crystal gift. So you got clear trains, crystal.
Ooh.
The modern gift is a watch. So that one works too, because Days of Wonder is going to watch money fly into their bank accounts.
Oops. I'm sticking with that.
Can I just say, really doesn't matter when these jokes are written, they're just bad.
Well, yeah, but we knew that going into it,
It
right?
would
We
have been
did
bad
notice
on
it.
Wednesday.
Hang on. I'm going to make up for it.
There we go.
All right, let's go on to something more important, but still Asmodee related.
Okay.
FFG announced a new cooperative living card game. This one's set in the Marvel universe.
Woohoo!
It's
All
called
right.
Marvel Champions, and the starter box will feature enough cards for 1 to 4 players to play through 3 scenarios. So you don't have to buy like multiple core sets.
All right. That's actually helpful.
That was like the thing that people clapped the most for.
Clap, clap, clap.
We're going to talk about this game probably more in depth, but Upper Deck responded by saying, hey, don't you want a legendary game with James Bond in it?
Mm.
Because they were doing Marvel card game. No, see, told you.
Hey, found
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Upper Deck was making Marvel Legendary.
Yeah, I
and
knew
now when FFG produces a big Marvel card game, suddenly now there's a Legendary James Bond instead. Like, hey, we didn't lose that property.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a legendary James Bond.
it. A couple.
It's new.
It's literally, remember we said, hey, there's a Legendary James Bond on the ribbon. And you said, yeah, I saw that. Did I not? That was like in the pre-show, right?
You said James Bond. I just heard legendary.
I said there's a Legendary James Bond on the, because we were talking about it's always
The
legendary.
lanyards.
And I said, oh yeah, the lanyard this year is Legendary James Bond.
I did not hear James Bond. I only heard legendary. I am sorry.
007.
I mean, I see it now,
Yeah.
and I had seen it on Instagram, but it didn't click that it was James Bond. As of right now.
Okay.
Coming from Eric Lang and CMON, Ankh is the last game in the trilogy of games that included Blood Rage and Rising Sun.
Ankh?
Ankh, like the little
ANKH
Oh.
or something.
Ankh.
Ankh.
I'm thinking.
Ankh.
Anki.
This time, the game is based around Egyptian mythology, with players acting as gods, fighting each other through various ways. I have a joke here,
Okay.
but I'm throwing it out because I just realized as I was reading this that this game's already been done. They even made a show about it. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! And go watch it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's much better than that joke. Yeah, that joke sucks.
Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh is Greek?
Egyptian theme.
Egyptian.
Oh, Egyptian.
There's a lot of Egyptian references
Greek.
in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've
Didn't
never
know that.
seen it.
Never watched it.
Yeah, for reference,
Never
Never
played
So,
it.
Never played it. It's on Netflix.
is this game?
Cindy has
I
like
don't know.
20 different kinds of confused
Right?
on her face.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what
It's
my
best just
question was.
don't try to
It's
understand
best
it.
just
Oh no! So are they going to go like rip off characters from Twitter again?
It was
So,
Wikipedia.
It was Wikipedia, and the
Wikipedia.
actual joke that I had written was their next challenge is finding an Egyptian reference guide that isn't Wikipedia.
Got it.
So I definitely like the one I
yeah.
made up.
Yeah, I like that better.
was-
Lastly, I have a non-CMON or Asmodee joke in here.
All right.
Pandasaurus Games has announced Wayfinders,
Oh yeah.
a route building game from Thomas Desjardins L'Espérant, guessing, who is famous for Decrypto.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
In this game, you use the islands to equip your planes to explore the unknown better than everybody else does, because it's like an engine building game. Apparently, it was inspired by watching the crowds try to get to their booth at Gen Con.
That's great.
And them's the breaks.
That was
good. News.
Some of that was good.
Some of that was good.
Duel.
So, anyways, like I said, we just got back from Gen Con. I should probably...
Great.
Almost a week ago now.
Yep. A week ago, we were having that Letterkenny
We
discussion.
were having that Letterkenny discussion. It was great.
Ferda. I even just like started writing stuff down in columns just so I would remember things. So, like I said, there's a lot of RPG stuff we're not going to talk about here. You'll have to tune in Wednesday or go listen to the Dirtbags of Holding to find that out. But there was still plenty of board games. In fact, the show kind of started off with board games, except for we took it. So Wednesday's always the FFG in-flight. However, we took a different tactic this year than we usually do, which is like normally we get up at like 3 a.m. to get out of DC traffic. And then like I'm talking a little bit about the trip because I figure people probably care.
Sure.
A little bit.
But this year we decided to leave a day early, like Saturday or Tuesday night, and we drove up to PA basically to be north of, and then we could just get up at a reasonable hour and then just drive the remaining 5 hours.
So
or
you
whatever.
ended up staying in Pennsylvania overnight?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
And our friend Chris travels so much he just used points on the room, so it didn't even cost anything extra.
Was this West Pennsylvania?
Yes, it
Yes.
was.
Yeah, probably Pittsburgh area.
In West Pennsylvania.
That's Philadelphia, but okay.
That's what
I'm
he was-
working it. I'm
He's
working
going.
it.
Yeah,
He,
we'll,
he
we'll,
knows.
Same neighborhood.
Oh my gosh. Same state.
Yeah, it was Uniontown, right? Isn't that what it was?
yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Is that alternate name for Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Uniontown.
That's the
Union
town
Town.
they stayed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
But anyways, we got there and did the whole tango of getting our cars to the airport, which was a nightmare because the one of the main highways was closed.
Cars to the airport?
Yeah, so it's expensive.
That's where you parked?
It's so expensive to park downtown. It's like $30 a day.
Oh, wow.
And so 2 years ago,
If you're lucky.
if you're lucky, and 2 years ago, I had the revelation. I was like, hey, long-term parking at the airport is like $7-8 a day, $9 a day. Let's just park the cars there and Uber to and from.
That's nice. Especially if you're staying like right at the convention center
Yeah.
area.
And there was people like, we won't have our cars available. I'm like, you won't need them. If you're leaving the downtown area, you're doing Gen Con wrong.
Didn't some of your friends fly this year?
Yes. Well, we've always had some friends fly.
Okay.
Because usually our friend Heather usually flies. You know Heather.
Yes, I do.
She usually flies and meets up with us there. But this year,
But she hoofed it with us this year. It was,
Yeah,
it
she
was,
did.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised by that. 'cause
Heather.
How do you all
Heather
fit
did
in the car?
We ended up taking
lots of lap. All right, just gotta roll
you took
with
two
it.
I
vehicles.
wasn't
had to
sure if
change
someone owned a clown car.
Well, we were gonna take a van, but then there was a problem with it like the day before, so we had to
So I was like, all right. So we'll just.
default to two.
The mystery machine's down, guys.
Yeah,
That's right.
Because there were 6 of us driving,
Oh,
or 6
okay.
of us driving.
So you could have fit in a van,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Corey,
That's a shame.
Corey and Jimmy flew this year.
Yeah, I
'cause
knew
they were
that.
just like, we don't want to deal with this this year.
Yeah, they told us that. So
I'm justified in my Fresh Prince reference in the chat.
So we get there, and of course, like I have to stand into the will call line, which is always long.
Oh, really?
But it
Well-
rolls quick.
So I don't. So I don't have to go for my badge. I picked that up on Thursday, but the tickets, because the FFG event is on Wednesday now. So normally what I would do is I would just wait until like Thursday morning before everybody woke up, because the will call line is 24 hours. Once it opens at 12 midnight, it does not close, or excuse me, 12 noon on Wednesday. It does not close until like 3 on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So just any time, like, we used to get up at like 5 in the morning to get in the line for our press badges to make sure we were one of the first ones in. I would just go to the Will Klein line there because there was no one there. But now that they do the in-flight on Wednesday, I have to have my ticket for it. I don't need my badge, but I have to have my ticket. And so
And Wednesday
I thought
is
they
technically like day 0, right?
Yeah.
You
I thought they
can
mailed
get
your
it.
badge.
you can get it mailed, and I think I might do that next year. But the problem is I'm
Does
usually
it cost more?
well, you have to pay shipping,
Oh.
and there's a lot of times I'm like adjusting things like up until day.
So here's what you do. Order the in-flight ticket and get that shipped to you.
Well, yeah, I thought about that.
Like just that one ticket.
Yeah.
And then pick
But would it
everything
be
else
worth
up.
the shipping? For one ticket?
Not to have to be in that line on Wednesday. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Because it does. The convention center takes up like, I don't know, 6 city blocks.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I knew it was huge.
And
There
the will
was-
call line when
Oh my
we got
gosh.
there, if anyone watching, if you know about the Indiana Convention Center, we got in line down at about hall C or B.
It's like a football field
Somewhere
away.
around there. Yeah, we were about a football field away. And then when Mike and Heather got in the line a
Which was
couple
later
hours
that-
later,
Yeah, that was they
it
got
was
it.
out the door.
Yeah, which is like another. They were probably like a mile from the,
Oh wow.
at that point.
It's a
Why-
long line.
So
but
I
it
get why you
slams
why
through
you
it.
didn't wait, but why wouldn't they have waited? Did
Well,
have
because they
stuff-
had games first thing Thursday morning.
Oh, okay.
So
got
it's
it.
like, well, and it was one of those like, we're not doing anything right now. Might as well use that time to stand
Yeah.
in line. It was
Okay.
moving pretty quickly. We were done and we were through the line in like
Took us
30
half an hour. Yeah.
30 minutes.
That's not bad.
The only reason that it took longer is because they like right in the middle of us getting our tickets, they had like some powwow meeting. Did you see that?
I did.
They're like, I need everybody down here.
was like, no,
we're in the
no.
middle of getting like he's got my ID. Like, give me my ID back.
I don't know who I am. I need that.
Aw.
But it was yeah. And then it was fun just walking into the press room. One of the guys recognized me.
Nice.
He was like, "Hey, you weren't here last year." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Somebody decided to get married. I had to go to that."
So you had tickets to the M-Flight, but he got it. He got there and was just like,
I was just like,
I don't feel like it. So me and Sean from All the Bits went to the in-flight. He was disappointed.
with the
I
in-flight.
could tell. I could tell. Like I was just like, yeah, and he was just like, I was expecting more. There was no like. Compared to last year, it was definitely not as big of a deal as it was last year. There was no like super awesome new announcement. But that's because I was talking to people online afterwards, and it's because they don't have to rush anything because now they're rolling in that Keyforge money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't have to be like, we got to get this out this year. No, it's like, nah, let's just wait till it's ready.
That's good.
So, but they did announce the Marvel Champions game, which I got to try out later that day.
That's right.
Afterwards, because there's always like a press tryout thing, so I don't have to go wait in the huge lines.
Oh,
and
nice.
thing. That was pretty cool. It's really neat. It's got a so it plays a lot like the Arkham game as far as like base structure, where it's like you do your turns and then the bad things do their turns, and then there's like, you know, there's like stacks of like you want this stack to go down before this stack goes up, kind of like it's not exactly the same, but you can see the inspiration there. I don't know if
Gotcha.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of Fantasy Flight products to me feel similar.
Yes, but
Like
that's also like a good thing for me.
like when we played Journeys in Middle Earth, it felt like we were playing a Cthulhu game.
Yeah.
Did it also
Yeah.
feel similar because the bulk of the box was 20 pounds of cardboard punch outs?
Well, they didn't have to punch it out.
Oh, okay.
They didn't buy the game. They played it at Dice Tower Con.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It was pre-punched.
It
Yeah.
was Steph's copy.
Was it punched? I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. It just wasn't organized.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just had to organize it. That's what it was.
The one cool mechanic in Marvel Champions is that because superheroes have their hero identity and their secret identity, is that your character card is double-sided, and different abilities you can do different things whether you're in your hero form or your alter ego form.
Nice.
Like basically you take damage when you're in your hero form, but you can heal when you're in your secret identity. Or like I was playing Spider-Man, I had like Aunt May cards that would only work if my card was flipped to Peter Parker. And
That makes
Which
sense
Aunt
thematically.
May?
it was like this is more. It's all comic book based art.
Okay.
At this point, I don't know how their license works, but like if I wanted to punch or if I wanted to play equipment cards, that I had to be on the Spider-Man side. So that was neat. It's another freaking LCG though. I would want to play it, but again, it's one of those at this point I'd have to have like a core group of people being like, we are going to play this every month before I invested a bunch of money in it.
I think
Oh, yeah.
with this, they're trying to reach that other crowd that they're not already reaching.
Right. Well, no, that was the fact that they had the Marvel license. That was like you could hear everyone getting excited. Like if you go and watch the FFG, that was probably the most excited part of that thing is when they're like, hey, we got this new thing we're going to show you. And then like all the lights go dim and the first thing that shows up is Marvel. And everyone's like, holy, Yeah, like it was just like what the. It makes sense because it's Disney and they do Star Wars, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
like at the time nobody was even thinking like we're thinking like maybe this is another Cthulhu thing or maybe this is another Star Wars thing. They just did a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and then Marvel shows up and everyone just like blows their mind. And then they decided to continue the Marvel train. They did like a one more thing, basically, sort of.
Chucky.
They referenced they were referencing it like, well, because the MCU has all these mid-roll stingers, we're gonna do a mid-roll stinger before the Q&A. And they brought up this guy. At first, I was like, we're bringing up this guy from Atomic Mass Studios. I'm like, what? What is this guy? Come to find out later, this is a studio that basically it's one that Asmodee just created that is stationed in the FFG building also.
Oh.
But they didn't really explain that very well. And then basically this studio's doing a Marvel Minis game. But this guy, he had like no stage, like he was great at explaining stuff, but he did not read his audience very well. Like this should have been like a, hey, we're doing this Marvel thing. Here's some cool minis. It's coming out X for maybe this much money. I don't know. If you want more details, come see us on the floor. That should have been it. He started going into like, these are what the character ability is going to be like, and these are the cards. As soon as I saw the cards, I was like, this artwork looks not the artwork, the graphic design looks atrocious.
So here's one symbol here. It's it's a
Well,
lightning
no,
bolt, and we decided to go with orange.
The way he was talking about it was great, but he just did way too much for what he should have been doing.
Gotcha.
Like, this is fine when it's an FFG thing, and we're here to see that. This is something nobody came to see, and he's spending way too long talking about it.
So he wasn't quite like, it was like, and this is a lightning bolt, and this is a heart symbol, and this is that.
No, he started talking about, like, we're going to have organized play where we're going to be doing this and that, and you're going to be able to we're going to do painting competitions, and we're like, we don't care about your strategy right now. You're at the end right before the question and answer portion of an FFG event. This is stuff that could be a blog post somewhere.
We're going to be doing events in the future. Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, exactly. It's short and sweet should have been the thing, but even if you check my Twitter, I was like, holy crap, they're doing a Marvel's Minis game, and then I'm kind of like less interested and stopped tweeting kind of about it by like a couple minutes in.
Did you see the thing about Spider-Man can punch, but Peter Parker can famously
Is unable to hurt anyone.
Is unable to hurt anyone.
Other than himself.
Uh-huh.
His relationship drama.
And Mary
So
Jane.
what else did you do at Gen Con?
Bought a sword.
He
bought a
He bought
Bought
a
a
sword.
sword.
How long is the sword?
It's-
Sword length.
Yeah, it's decent. If I could,
It's like the size of that crutch over there.
Huh.
yeah.
So it's like 5 feet,
Oh no, it's not 5 feet. It
4 feet.
I'd say a good 4 feet long. Yeah,
That's
from point to hilt.
I should have got a picture of Chloe trying to hold it.
Yes, that was it. It's pretty nice. It is not sharp yet.
Oh my god.
He bought the Zelda Master Sword.
The Dark Master Sword,
Nice. I don't know what that means.
or would they
but-
call it the Shadow Master Sword? Because they called him Shadow Link.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, because how long have I been saying I was going to buy a sword?
Like every Gen Con.
Like every friggin' Gen Con and also a couple of Baltimore Comic Cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, you know what? Fine. Doing it.
Good.
First thing.
If I wanted, if I had the desire, I'd just go through and clip every time you talked about it and throw it in the show. But that's too much work.
Colin's probably already done that. There's a
No.
file hiding somewhere.
No, there's.
Yeah, it's right next to the cough file.
There was also a new Cthulhu game announced.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
You might like this one.
Which one is it? Oh yeah, it's Final Hour. Yeah.
Mhm, because it's only an hour. And it's got like this cool deduction-y kind of theme.
And it's a board game, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a card game.
No, it's not a board.
Yeah.
In fact, there is a lot of cards and there's card play to it.
Yeah, but I like the Cthulhu board games.
Yeah. And this one, basically, the ritual to summon whoever has happened, and you have like an hour to shut it down before everything goes to crap.
Mm.
And so, you basically, there's all these so there's 2 tokens that you shuffle all these tokens. There's 10 of them total, and there's 5 symbols and 2 of each token, and you shuffle them and then deal out all of them on the board, and there's 2 left over. and then you basically investigate, and you're trying to, before time runs out,
Figure out what
the
those
two are.
I like
Meanwhile, trying to prevent monsters from getting to the ritual site, because if that in the ritual site fills up, then the ritual happens and the game's over. So another one of those like multiple ways to lose.
Yeah.
But what did you do?
I
Not what
played
did
the
you-
game.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason I'm talking about is I played it.
Okay.
Not just I talked about it. I played Marvel Champions. I played First Hour. I don't know how I feel about First Hour. That's in
Final hour?
What did I say? Yeah, I
First.
put it in here as
Put it in
first.
at
It
first
is
hour, too.
Final Hour.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of those. I need another play of it because we played through. When I demoed it, I played through a lot of it, and it's just kind of interesting. I don't. It's hard for me to explain how I feel because I don't know if I have concrete feelings on it, other than it's just another Cthulhu game kind of thing.
Don't be afraid to catch feelings, Chris.
Well, I just don't know what they are. That's the thing. Is like I played it and I'm just kind of like, okay, that was cool.
It was a game.
It was a game. Yeah, like my first initial play was just it's a game.
I get that. You're like that with a lot of games. Unless something like every once in a while something will hit you hard, but
Yeah, Marvel Champions did do that at first, because it did have that kind of like really like we feel like we're beating this dude down, and it got to like one point where like Sean I was playing with was playing Captain Marvel, and he's about to die. He's got 1 hit point left. But we're playing against the Rhino, and he's only got like 9 hit points left. And I'm looking at my cards like, don't switch your alter ego. I'm pretty sure we got this. And just like slamming down a bunch of cards, and like you can see like there's a bunch of stuff happening. So it felt very thematic, but
cool.
that was. But you bought a game day one, right?
Yes, I did. Bought a game called Bargain Quest.
Which I think
Oh,
he
you
talked
did buy it.
He talked
Yes.
about it
Yeah,
in the
he
last
did.
show.
Talked about it in the last show. Look, it looked pretty interesting. Bought it, played it
That night, right? Or it was Friday night.
It's Friday night.
Thursday night or Friday night?
I think we played it on Friday night. Very interesting game. You play the shopkeeper trying to pull the adventurers into your shop, and then you sell them your wares, and they go out and fight a monster. And as long as they wound the monster, your shop gets a victory point because, hey, you got some pretty good equipment. And then after that all happens, if anybody survives, you also get a point because, hey, your guy made it back alive. And then they discard all their equipment because
Clearly,
apparently
he
it's-
was equipped enough to survive.
Exactly. Apparently, all the equipment is one adventure use as well, because you immediately discard it and then start all over. There's drafting element at the beginning, so you can pick out. I picked up every single expansion as well.
Of course you did.
There's black market items. There were a couple. There's a solo play deck. I haven't like opened all the expansion stuff, except the black market, because it came in a box about the same size. I was able to shove everything in the core box.
Nice.
Good.
Yes. So it does seem a lot of fun. I want to put it out on the table again. I think I can play up to 8 people now.
Nice.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
Yeah, I may be wrong. The core box maxes out at 6.
The description that you gave makes me think of like liquor stores and stuff that advertise, we sold a $50,000 lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is, yeah, definitely see that.
Mm.
It was funny while he was getting that, and for like the first like 45 hour and a half of the floor open, everyone's running around buying stuff selling out, like it does. I went to the Warhammer booth and just painted a mini. They had a paint and take, so I'm just sitting there like everyone's running around doing anything. I don't have anywhere to be, so I was just like, I'm just sitting here enjoying life.
Yeah, that's right, because we did the Running of the Nerds this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We went. For the first. This is the first time we were there, like as they opened.
As they opened the doors, we're working our way toward the front to be up, and all of a sudden, we hear from behind us, "We're exhibitors. We're exhibitors. Excuse us. We're exhibitors. We got to get in."
And I was like, "Philip, get in the wake."
They did. They had. I think the first 2 people were the actual exhibitors, and then they had like a wake of 6 or 7 people. So we were just like, "We're gonna join you guys." And
It's like it was like a Die Hard 3 when they called the ambulance in to be able to get through all the traffic.
Oh, yeah.
That was basically what we pulled.
was so
but we didn't
great.
get all the way. We only got like
because the guy who
halfway.
was the non-exhibitor at the head of the line, all of a sudden the exhibitor split off, and he found another path because he thought he was going to meet back up with him, and then he dead-ended. We're like, dude, what did you do?
and we followed the wrong dude.
Philip, there's a question in the chat.
There's a question in the chat. There's a question. See, does the bargain question expansion fits comfortably in the quarterbacks? If you purchase this off the shelf right now, everything will fit comfortably. Mine fits a little snug because at the booth they were giving out an extra player board, and because it all looks like a shop on the inside and the outside. You flip it open, so the outside like face of your shop, it says Game Shop over the door.
Now, is this in the with the insert that's in the box?
Oh no, I had to pull the insert out
Okay,
first,
so this is even after you've chucked
Yep.
all the stuff inside. Okay, because sometimes you look at like maybe speaking of Legendary, where it comes with card slots in there, or
Yeah, no, this was just the core box comes with bags, empty bags for the cards and tokens after you punch them out. But yeah, the little, I don't know, I call it the Death Star trench insert because
yeah.
the trench.
The trench insert.
If you just say the trench, most people know what you're talking
okay.
about.
But yeah, first thing I was like, yep, this isn't gonna fit.
The
You're gone.
FFG trench.
The FFG
The
trench. There
FFG
we
is
go.
the trench is very, very highly used in FFG games. So Thursday is also when I tried Rail Pass. That was a game you guys were like, "Ooh, this looks kind of neat," until you found out it wasn't a Western. Then you're like, "Eh."
I was like, I am less interested.
That was kind of brain burning, just in the sense of like, I don't know what's going on here. So it's a game where you start off with like all the players have a player color, and they all have like 20 cubes, and then you take all the cubes and like shake them up. You take like 4 cubes from everybody, whatever. So you have everyone's cubes but your own. And like you shake them up and lay them out on your board. And then you have 2 trains, and you're trying to pass the other players their colors. But it's real time. Like there's like 7 or 10 minutes, depending on how hard the game you want it to be. But there's the aspect of you have 2 slots for trains on your board. And as you're passing the trains, if they don't take it and put it on their board, then you have to like hold. They can't touch the table. Like you can't set it on the table and move it. Anything that touches the table other than those 2 spots on your board is eliminated from the game. And
Oh, wow.
it costs you points at the end of the game. You're trying to get up to 100 points.
Wow.
So like you got somebody still have like 3 trains in their hand trying to be like, okay. And the other caveat is that you're sitting in like a kind of like an I sort of pattern, and your conductors cannot get more than 1 person away from you. So they're trying to figure out like, okay, red is right there, so I can't pass this train. I need to move it onto my train, pass them back their train, and then move my train over to somebody else.
Okay. So your
and-
trains are staying within quote
Right,
unquote
your trains
reach of you.
basically go to your neighbors, and that's
Yeah.
it. So you have to kind of transfer. They have to load their stuff onto you, but you can only load on your board. So you have to kind of like move that. Like I got to pull this train up, I got to put that train down, move the pieces onto my other train, send this one back, and then I'm handing this one over. And everyone's kind of doing this, and so it's just kind of like, I don't know what's happening here. Just take my trains.
That does sound fun.
I would not buy it, but I would play it.
It sounds like you need a minimum of at least 3 players, though.
There's some other, probably. Yeah, I don't think it'd be good like a 2-player game. It's probably a minimum 3-player game. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I would imagine.
Ember, to answer the other half of your question, yes, the game is very fun. Even when we were sitting around rolling through the instructions the first time, lots of stuff to keep you occupied. the card art, the player board art.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny because I was in the room. Like, I didn't play the bargain quest. I was just in the room. I was kind of burnt out from the day, and they just kept talking and trying to figure out the rules. And Philip's over there flipping pages, and I was just like, "Hey guys, there's a watch it played video." Or it was gaming rules. I think it's
Oh yeah.
like Paul Grogan. One of them there was a rules for somebody had it, and they're just like flipping through books and stuff, and I'm just like, 10 minutes, you can know how to play.
No, we're learning right now.
We're gonna do it the hard way.
That's right.
Natural.
We're gonna do it the way the world intended. Screw up a couple times, and then go to the Wikipedia.
There's a bunch of you guys can't see it on the stream, but there's most of the stuff's gotten moved over there for all the review games. I can't wait to try out the Funko game.
That does.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And then I can't wait to play Bermuda Pirates with y'all.
I am
Okay.
excited about that. I didn't realize you got a copy of that.
Yeah. That was fun. So do you know about the game?
I saw a little snippet of someone trying to move one of the ships around,
Okay.
and like I guess the ships are like really sensitive to hitting things.
No. So what you're supposed to not explain it and just do it and have people joke, but just for the sake of audio. So there are magnets in the board.
Oh, okay.
And the
Oh,
front
cool.
half of the ship has a magnet, but it's the back half. It sits so the nose is kind of up out of the water. And as so Eric from What's Eric's Playing is teaching me this game, and he's just like, oh, you put the train on you put the boat on the board and you push it. You have to use one finger, and you just push it from the back. You can't push it from any other direction. And you got to push it to this island and get gems from all 4 of these spots on the island and push it back to your thing as many times, or like you can either do the gems one at a time or try and get them all. But if anything happens and your boat tips over or whatever, the gems are lost. Your boat goes back to the island, and you can even put a little cone of where your boat tipped over. And I'm like, what? Okay. Didn't explain the part about the magnet. So I go to start pushing the boat, and then the boat goes ka-thunk and just like right off the bat. And I'm like, huh. And then it's like, oh, okay. So then you can mark where the magnets are and kind of like steer around them.
Oh.
But it gets wicked when you have like gems on board, because when the boat goes kerthunk, the gems go flying.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
that's what
that's
I saw. Someone's gems went flying.
So it's kind of anxiety inducing because you're just like, kerthunk, dang it.
It's Minesweeper in real time.
Yeah.
That's fun.
In fact, one of the layouts when Eric did it, it turned out he had like 2 magnets right outside of his island. So like he had to set the cones and like get very particular about how he left his island. And
Oh
then he
my
didn't really.
gosh.
You only get 3 cones, so then you don't have enough to like.
you can't
really
mark everything.
Mark everything, yeah. And you can actually go to other people's islands and steal their gems instead.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's definitely in that kind of ice cool vein level of. Kind of weird, gimmicky, and quirky fun. In fact, when I was
You don't have
talking,
to flick it, so I'll play.
Yeah, it's from Foxmind Games, I believe is what. And when I was talking to them, I was explaining how like, oh yeah, we like different things, but the one thing we all kind of agree on is these light and quirky games. And he's like, well, you've come to the right place.
That was cool.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Those are the hits. There was a lot of games that sold out that I did not expect. And there was a lot of games I thought were going to sell out that didn't.
I was surprised. We were keeping up on like
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff, and board deck and dice or board and dice. I forget what they go by now. They had Sierra West. It was debuting at Gen Con, and I expected that to sell out because it was getting such hot buzz beforehand, for
Yeah.
several months, and they still had copies left at the end of day 1. I was like, oh come on guys. I
Yeah.
commented on the post like, really? But then it was like first hour the next day it was gone.
Yeah. Era did not sell out. I thought that was going to be huge. Because that's the new Matt Leacock roll and build game. I thought that was going to sell out because it's
I
also
didn't realize
the
that
new-
was actually for sale.
Yeah, it was the new Plan B offering. Yeah, so I thought that would be on the shelf. Century Golem, the Eastern Wonders
Yeah.
version.
Oh,
that
yeah,
didn't sell
yeah.
out.
Oh, that's
'cause,
weird.
Yeah, those were because I remember Sean was like that was his must get day 1 because I was like that's probably the only time you're going to get it.
Yeah, that was like so many people I've seen posting. It's like
Right.
I'm glad I held out, because I wanted the Golem version.
I was just mad because I didn't even know about the Golem version when I bought Century because I would have bought the Golem version.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
bought Century or I bought
Well,
Spice
you got,
Road first.
Yeah, if
What's
early when it first came
Yeah,
out.
when it first came out. It wasn't until after Origins.
What's the difference?
Artwork's different.
Just
The gameplay plays the same, but the artwork, instead of being kind of like a generic Mediterranean style or Middle
It's kind of
Eastern,
monstery.
it's like monstery,
and
you're doing
the
gems
tokens are
instead of
cute.
cubes.
Yeah, they're gems instead of cubes, and
Oh.
they're kind of iridescent shiny.
The production looks a lot.
It's really really nice.
It's
looking.
like you have the Pastorius version of the game, and then you have the Chris Renshaw version of the
Well,
game.
I actually prefer the way the Gollum version looks.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
I
you
don't
didn't like the
So-
pictures.
I didn't like the pictures, but the art, but the design is beautiful.
So we can call it like the HD digital remaster.
Yeah. Sure,
Okay, gotcha.
sure.
That-
But the deal of it was people thought it was going to be a one-off game, even though they made there were other Century games, like there was Century Eastern Wonders, and they just Century New World.
Yeah.
But they never announced a Golem version, and people were hoping they were going to.
They were saying that they weren't going to.
Well, they said they had no plans to.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
They
thing.
leave it open-ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then when they found out enough people wanted it, they announced this year they're going to they made the Century Golem edition for Eastern Wonders,
Yes.
and then next year will be the New World version.
That's cool.
But
That's it. Yeah, you always say there's no plan because right at this exact moment,
right,
we're not lying to you.
We can
not-
neither confirm nor deny.
yeah, yeah. So but there was stuff like the DC Comics Rebirth deck building game sold out. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for certain. I know they were low copies on Saturday. Cartographers sold out for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that. I'm just trying to think of all the other different things I saw that sold out. Yeah, there was a lot of smaller things, and I don't know if they just didn't bring a lot, and things sold out.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was neat because kind of seeing like the things that you necessarily weren't expecting to sell out did, like Clay over at Capstone Games.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was talking about Watergate selling out, and they got close. They got down to like a stack, but there was still a stack there as of when the dealer hall closed.
Yeah. That was one I was interested in.
Yeah.
That was another one. It was getting some buzz.
It was getting a lot of pre-Gen Con buzz. So yeah, that's kind of like the biggest things I think we saw. I played a couple other things, and we played Welcome. We both played Welcome 2.
Oh yeah. Had you not played it before?
I had not played it before. I'd seen it enough, but I never actually sat down to
Okay.
play it. That was the game with the flipping the cards and you fill in the sheet.
You're
with
making
your,
a
your
suburban
houses.
town, house rows, neighborhood.
We were drunk, so you may not remember.
Did I play that?
Yeah, you did. It was the game that we took forever to explain because we kept kind of like Sandy was not getting it, and we were like,
You're
"What are you
choosing
not-"
between three
You
pairs
have-
of cards.
Yeah, you have a paper in front of you, and it has 3 rows of houses, and you're writing numbers in the houses.
Oh, okay. There we go. There numbers on the houses, 3 rows.
Yeah.
Now I'm there with
Yep.
you. Yep.
We found out that is not a game you should learn while you're drunk.
You should learn every game when you're drunk.
There's
okay?
a
Don't
lot
even
of
start
little
that.
rules.
There's
to-
a lot of little
yeah.
rules that people, but I found out the player boards are actually more helpful than the rule book on some of those little rules.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's got the entire bottom of it tells
Yeah.
you how to score. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were trying to, like everybody else is trying to like listen to Jimmy explain because
Through-
Jimmy and
through
Corey
the rule book.
through the rule book, and I'm just like, guys, it's right here.
Yeah.
That thing-
Yeah, I think they actually. So we had asked you to try to get the summer
Right.
map expansion. You said it got stuck in customs.
That's what I was
yeah,
told.
I think it may have got there on Sunday because I saw one person
Oh.
had a hall post with it in there.
They made it. I don't know. Just whatever in the interaction made it sound like it was not going to be at the show at
Yeah.
all. So
Yeah.
I, didn't check
I never
back.
No,
saw
I-
it in
like,
anybody's.
That's
collect-
only one
hall.
picture I saw it in, so I think it was like the one guy that got there. It's like, oh, you have it. Cool.
Yeah, that's gotta suck though. Like you get like this big rut, and then it gets held
Probably.
up.
Yeah.
He probably bought it at like 3:55 Sunday, right before the dealer hall closed.
I'm just like, how much shipping it costs to bring all that stuff in, and then it gets held at customs, and you can't sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna sell. It's very popular.
I know, but it
does suck.
But I'm assuming they probably paid for rush shipping to make sure it got in by Gen
Yeah.
Con, so that's just sunk costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I just hope they make it
That's-
available other ways
I
because
imagine so.
this was supposed to be like, hey, we're selling it at Gen Con and probably nowhere else.
Well, if they have copies of it, they have to sell it.
We're gonna have copies
Yeah.
of it now. So
Oh, I did play Sushi Roll.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw the picture.
I was mad because you said, "Oh, I don't have to worry about it. I'll just play it with you guys." And then you
Well,
didn't.
I hadn't planned to play it,
I know I'm teasing.
but it was there and it was in somebody's bag. And by the way, to answer your question that you asked me, like I don't remember when you were asking me about, like, if I want to play a game, is there room? Yes, because there's like, it was Saturday night, last night of Gen Con, and it's like midnight, and I was at one of the food courts basically playing games, and there were still even empty tables.
Oh, that's good.
So that was where I met up with Eric, and that's where I
Isn't-
played Bermuda Pirates.
Isn't the football field open gaming
Yes.
space? Okay.
But that's the library where you have to pay tickets to get, like, and you can get a table
Oh.
reserved and stuff. This was just like
Free play.
free. No, it wasn't.
Well,
it was just tables that weren't being used for anything, so we sat down and
That's
played
yeah.
games.
That's what I
Gotcha.
mean. by
okay,
free
gotcha.
play.
So I because you had described the distance from will call as a football field.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Lucas
actual-
Oil Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where the games library is. There's
Hey,
also
So you
Courtney and
have
Jimmy
to use
went there.
tickets to get into the games library.
Yeah.
in the games library. Yeah.
There's
Huh.
tickets for everything.
I think
Yeah.
it's like
That's weird.
it's like one generic, and I think you get like 5 hours or something like that.
But yeah, it's $2 for a generic.
Yeah.
So that's.
That's still really weird
It's-
though.
I mean, it's.
It's not.
I would say it keeps you from hogging a table.
The
It
conventions that we've been to, it's never
The
something you have
conventions
to
you've
pay
been
for.
to are like the only ones that, because like most big conventions do, because it also keeps track of who's in the game. Like
when you say most, you're referring to Origins and Gen Con.
I'm talking bigger ones.
Does Origins charge you to go to free?
Origins
open gaming?
requires you to buy a ribbon. That's a board gaming ribbon that allows you access into the area where the library is.
Because PAX Unplugged, that
Huh.
was pretty big last year, and they still weren't charging for
That's
playing
true.
games.
That's true. I guess I was thinking, yeah, it's just mainly Origins and Gen Con.
So you can't go onto the football field unless you use a ticket, even if you're not checking something out of the library.
Well,
I
so I did walk around the stadium, actually on the football field.
Yeah.
So that is, you can just wander around and look at stuff. If you want to be in the games library, you gotta.
So that's the one caveat.
if you
is I
bring your
don't,
own
I don't know if you
games-
bring your own game, because I've not done that.
So I'm thinking of where the BattleTech pods are.
No, that's not that area.
Where the BattleTech pods are, a lot of the tables are reserved for the companies doing demos
Yes,
and
that's
stuff.
that's a specific.
But there are, I'm pretty sure when I was walking by, there were just rows and rows of empty tables with no.
No.
reservations on them.
Yeah. So there's in other words, what we're saying a couple of different things here. There's a lot of free table space just around that you can use both in the kind of event hall after companies are done doing their events. There's a whole 2 convention center exhibit halls full of tables that you can use.
Okay.
In the free play, like there's a specific, this is the board game library area. I know to rent games you have to spend tickets. I don't know, because I haven't done it, if to use those tables in that area
You
if
have
you have
to
to spend
pay.
tickets.
Okay.
I would imagine maybe probably just to keep crowds.
Yeah.
Also, I imagine they probably use the money from those tickets to keep curating the games in the library.
Now,
Yeah.
how do you use your ticket? Do you just like have it on you,
Yeah.
or do you give it to someone?
You give it to them.
You give it to somebody.
So how would they know that you gave
Your
your
name's
ticket?
on it.
Well, your name's on the ticket. Every generic ticket you buy has your name on it.
So they have to go like back to the desk and check it.
Not really. When I ran, even when Chris ran his games, so you get a little small manila envelope
Yeah.
type thing, and you just put the tickets in there and you give them to event headquarters or GM headquarters, and they're like, oh yeah, ding ding ding, you had this many people in your game, you're good.
For checking out games, though, I think they just scan the ID badge, your Gen Con badge.
I'm just wondering how they police, like, if you did need a ticket to use a table at all.
It might.
Like-
I don't know. And some other conventions, like at Origins, it's roped off, and there's only one. There's a gate basically, and you have to have the badge ribbon to get into that area.
Huh.
So,
Just the fact that you said you were wandering around in there, just
Oh yeah,
that's what's
there was
confusing me.
the section was roped off.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of roped off sections. And there
okay,
were
then
some
you
other
probably do
tables
need a
and-
ticket to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that we've cleared that
now
up.
that we've spent forever. But
sorry.
I'm gonna take that down.
That's very interesting to me, though, that it's like that because Dice Tower Con is our. We've been there the most. We've been to PAX twice, PAX Unplugged twice at this point, and so we've not been charged to play games from the library. So that's an interesting concept. It's something good to know if I ever do decide to go to Gen Con, just to be aware of that.
That's the thing a lot of people say is like it just seems like they're charging for everything. But one thing you got to know about Gen Con compared to like even some of the other stuff is you got to remember that when you go to something like Dice Tower Con,
it's so small.
It's so small and in at one place. Whereas Gen Con, the people running Gen Con, they're leasing but like the meeting hall space.
The meeting halls
everywhere within like a 3-block radius of the convention. It's not just the convention center. Every hotel, they're using those event spaces to put in things. So that's why it costs because none of that is free.
No, I totally understand.
Right.
It's something good to know since it's not been my experience so far.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably another reason they charge to get into that library is to justify the cost of renting out Lucas Oil Stadium for this event.
Sure.
Well,
but
that's
that's one of the great things about Gen Con is how much it takes over downtown Indianapolis. We went into Nickel and I went into a restaurant, and they had a special
that the Italian place.
Yeah, the sandwich place. They had a special menu. I'm 100% positive these were all items on their normal menu.
They just changed the names.
They just changed all the names for Gen Con. It was Guardians of the Galaxy themed. So he had a Star-Lord sandwich. I had a Nebula sandwich. It was
something funny. I actually saw. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. The Smirk and Dagger team, I guess, had dinner or lunch somewhere, and the menu was all themed around their stuff. I was like, that's really cool. That is cool. That's so cool.
There's a couple of places it used to be Scotty's Brewhouse did that, but they closed.
Yeah.
They used to be all Pathfinder themed, and they'd have like Pathfinder specific drinks. There's a brewery, the Sun King Brewery.
Is that the one that does the
They do
drink
the official,
of the year?
they do the official drink, and like once, so like Wednesday they have a tapping party where they unkeg or tap the keg and start pouring it. It's not until like once that day has passed, you start seeing the beer in all the local restaurants.
That's
on
really
tap.
cool.
It's like, how they'll do a seasonal tap for a thing. It gets replaced with the Gen Con tap.
That's so cool.
So like Indy goes all out for Gen Con. It's one of the reasons I love going there. It's just it's not just one thing. It's just
like
everywhere.
Disney World for board games.
Kind of, with not as many rides. But
fun.
Disney Springs for board games.
But as much money.
Yeah.
Asmodee money.
Oh.
Speaking of which, that was actually something cool.
Okay.
As FFG redid their booth design this year, and a lot of people complained about it, but I thought it was really neat. And they turned their booth into McDonald's. Where like normally their booth is they got like one booth basically of a line that you do to get in there, and then there was the actual booth, which is like a store where you can go in, grab what you want, and then go up to the counter and you purchase it. That's the way it used to be, and that's the way most booths are. Like once you get pretty large, you usually have like a space that you have to have for line control, and then like your store where you go grab stuff and go check out.
Browse, turn a page, wash your hands.
This year, what they did is they still had the booth space for the line. You wouldn't stood in the line. They handed you a catalog. Now, this is everything we've got this year, and you go up to a register and say, I want this, 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 and this, pay for it, and then move down the row, and then somebody comes and hands you your order.
That's pretty neat.
It was
Did
neat.
they number them? Please tell me they numbered them.
They did number them.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to need a number 4, 2 number 7s.
Oh, you mean that? No, they didn't number it like that.
Come on.
I thought you were talking about like order number 37 is here.
I'm just thinking like how much like McDonald's can we make this? Like what does hold the pickles mean?
But I know some people were like our friend Chris Nickel was complaining that I just want to go browse, and it's like they're not really going to that group, and they had a bunch of glass cases with all their products, so it's like you could go browse in the cases, and there's only a limited number of things they have that are new.
Oh yeah, true.
It was like, okay, they have the new Arkham Horror Pack and the new this expansion and that, like a lot of expansions to stuff.
The new Super Star Destroyer for
That
Armada.
was-
That looked amazing.
You know the size of the huge haul bags you see?
Yeah.
The Imperial Star or the Super Star Destroyer filled that bag.
Oh my goodness.
That's how big the box of it was.
Wow.
But having said that, normally the FFG booth takes at least an hour just to get through, which is why I used to try and get in an hour early before the lines got set up. There was a line like the first half of the day, but outside of that, 15 minutes is all it took to get in and out of that booth. So that was like, I thought that was great design on that part.
I felt like a lot of there were probably more log jams in the aisleways, but I feel like a lot of the booths were super quick turnaround on like, all right, I am standing in line for this booth now. Okay, and I'm done. What the hell?
We're saying hi to somebody.
Like, I blocked out an hour for this. I still have 55 minutes. What do I do? I don't know anymore.
And they also had it like AEG had riddles on the backside of their booth.
Yeah.
Where if you were like, we know waiting in line sucks, so here's something to think about while you're
nice.
waiting to get. And
Oh,
if you
that's fun.
they had a riddle, riddle master, and if you answered all the riddles right, you got like a token for a special entry into a giveaway or something like that.
That's
So it
cool.
was something to keep people occupied while they're in line, which was funny because their booth was across from FFG. And their people in the FFG line were getting the answers to the thing. So
Sorry,
it was funny.
for some reason Siri triggered on my phone.
You said you
It
must
heard
have said
entry.
you must have said something that sounded like, "Hey, her name."
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, that's funny.
So, all right. Board game wise, do we have anything?
I mean,
They probably wanna talk.
I would love to get something in here.
No. How was your Gen Can't?
Pretty boring.
It was miserable.
Sorry. Well,
We
so
didn't do
to
very
solve
much.
that, there's this thing called Gen Con. You should
That doesn't sound very proactive.
look into that, okay?
What?
We're getting to the point we're just gonna need to get a house.
Right?
No, really, like Cindy wasn't feeling very well, and so like our gaming just didn't happen much.
No.
That's what happened.
I'm just referring to the amount of contingent that we've been taking to.
Oh yeah, we went and bought a couch.
Yeah, that
The
took like a whole day.
Saturday of Gen Con. I wanted to be home playing games.
Our
but
Gen Can't activity was
They Gen couched.
they Gen couched.
yeah. So we had been wanting to buy a new couch for a while, and so we were, just planning, just drive up the road, go to the furniture store real quick, just kind of look around. If we
Is this
find
downstairs
something
or upstairs?
upstairs.
Dang.
Sorry. Yeah.
Does it
Anyway,
matter?
yes.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
But he has to come upstairs to when he's
Right?
over.
This is great audio for people.
Okay, I'm not okay with that.
That's fine. We're fixing it.
Anyway, so we went up the road and expecting to be gone like 3-4 hours at the most. We were gone almost all day. It was terrible. And then we had a bunch of things to do down here before an improv show, and then I wasn't feeling well, so I ended up not going to the improv show. And then Sunday we had a big thing at church for my mom, and there was no time to play games. It was really sad, and I was just very sad. So yeah, this month has been slow for us with game playing. I can't wait to get back into more stuff. 'Cause
We did play a couple yesterday.
We did, yeah. We
Yeah.
had a fun little evening with our friend Matt, who listens to us, he's a Patreon supporter. So
That's a good transition. Just give me a second.
To
Patreon talk.
okay. Is that commercial written down? I can do it.
No, it's not. I just technical difficulties here. My computer's locked up.
Do we have a static? Is there a static noise on the soundboard there, Colin? You technical difficulty.
Here we go.
Please stand by.
So
Colin's over here breaking the silence, man.
We got a new couch.
All right, new couch.
So we actually.
It electronically reclines.
Yeah, it's one of
so
those.
nice.
Those are great.
It's so nice. But yeah, there's still nothing downstairs.
Is it sectional?
No.
Just a
It's a
just a
it's
three
a
cushion.
sofa.
It's a proper sofa.
Three
yeah.
cushion
Free
couch.
cushion
Okay,
sofa.
gotcha.
You'll love it. But yes, sorry, you still have
Okay.
to come upstairs.
You
Still
can
come
charge. You can
upstairs.
charge your phone in the side of the couch.
Oh,
It's
see,
got
it has
USB
USB
ports.
ports.
Oh,
That's great.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, gotcha.
All right, and
Just gonna find some people, guys. This couch needs to go downstairs. Let's go. They're not
And-
home.
It's hard enough to get
Continue.
it in the house.
All right, so before we get to the game show, we're gonna do something special here that I didn't tell you guys
Something
about.
special.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but last time that we recorded, Matthew responded, or Matthew Hawker joined our
Patreon.
and
That's
pushed us
right.
over the $20. So we've officially got where we need to start doing things.
Extra content.
Extra content. That's not what this is, but it just reminded me that I'm falling behind on our $5 level.
Oh.
Where
Oh yeah.
so where I need to start making fun of people's games. So in this episode, this one goes out to John Detmer, who I think you met. Him and his wife. His wife,
His
Emily.
wife designed our
Oh,
show.
Yes.
they're the ones we stopped in the aisle.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
I'm there.
we saw them at Gen Con. So talked to him, asked him what his favorite game was. He listed off a
Did
couple.
they stop us?
Huh?
Were you
They did
wearing
stop-
the
yes,
shirt? He was
yes.
like, hey, I did that.
And so, but he said probably his all-time favorite is D&D because they do a podcast.
Oh, they do,
They also
yeah.
do a D&D actually podcast.
Oh yeah,
called
they're the incorrigible club.
party.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do something here on the spot. I'm gonna make 10 dad jokes about D&D.
10 dad jokes.
Oh yay.
So I need somebody to hold me to count. Some of these I've been
Okay,
thinking
ready?
about, but most of them are off the cuff.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Their D&D group is something probably to behold. If this takes too long, these jokes are just going to keep dragging out.
Oh.
Their favorite song is probably Dice Dice Baby.
Oh.
Let's see.
I'm gonna switch sounds.
Wah, wah, wah,
This
wah.
went hard. When he wants to do role playing in the bedroom, she pulls out the player's handbook.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Oh God, maybe I shouldn't have done 10. I should have done like 5.
Right? All
Phil-
right.
Well, you're almost to 5.
We're gonna-
We
we're
can
gonna-
edit it in post.
That's right. We edited in post.
Uh,
Just everybody real quiet. You say 5, and he'll dub
No.
that over the 10. We're like, I'm going to do 5. Dead
Everyone
jokes.
at their character starts off like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?"
That was 5.
No. Now I've set myself apart here.
I know. I'm not saying you're done.
Let's see.
I'm just telling you where you're at.
You're halfway.
Yeah.
Something
Whenever
about-
they order a sandwich with pickle spears, they actually get weapons in them.
Something with alignments.
Alignments. Ooh. When they go to jury duty and they get asked questions and they say like, "No, I'm lawful neutral, not lawful good." That was terrible.
Oh my gosh. It's still 7.
Still counts.
Oh, how's this for a better one? Whenever they're writing a paper, when instead of doing center alignment, they do neutral good. That's a little better.
That's a little better.
Let's see here.
Oh, I get it.
Uh,
Continue.
Oh gosh.
it's lawful good, not lawful nice.
2 more.
Two more.
Two more.
Two
Two more. Two more.
Let's see. I'm trying to think anything I can
Something
think of.
with like rolling a 1.
Yeah, crit fail.
Anytime they go watch the epic fail videos on YouTube, they're always wondering why there are no dice being rolled. And let's see, last but not least. Always having to explain people when you refer to your dungeon that it's not related to sex.
That fits.
Yeah.
Good one. All right.
So there you go. If you join our Patreon at $5, but you don't have to, like, we would be fine if everyone just backed at $1. That'd
Oh
be
yeah.
cool.
That'd be awesome.
But if you want to have something like that for your favorite game, then you need to back at the $5 level. And I've got like,
Because you know what it is?
what?
we got them really bad dad jokes.
and
they
they'll
cost
only
you $5
a month.
Oh my god.
I got 3 other people right now I got to do that for. So there you go, John. That was your example. And now it's time to Nick comes in with one. You need a different kind of leather armor for the bedroom. That's related, but still. All right, so now it is time for a game show that I made that is actually probably going to be good this time.
Woohoo.
Who knows? It's the eBay game.
Oh!
That's why it's going to be good, because I stole it from somebody else.
There we go. All right.
Nice.
This time, so I decided we were going to do the eBay game because I was trying to think of something Gen Con themed that you didn't have to know like everything on the preview page to be able to understand.
Yes.
Like I tried to find like the geek buzz, but then I'm like, nobody's going to know this.
All right.
So then I was
all
like,
right.
okay, so I just went to eBay. I typed Gen Con and I picked a couple of random products that are Gen Con related, and that's what we're going to cover.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first thing is item number 1, and these are in quotes. These are what the actual titles for these items are.
Philip's cheating.
I've got it hidden.
No, he's got. We're probably got to do the price, so he's got that hidden.
Gen Con Gaming Convention bandana, new, never worn.
Oh my god.
And I can show you that's what it looks like.
Okay.
It's just
Oh.
a bandana that
Nice.
has Gen Con on it.
Yep.
This
That's
feathered
lame.
gray.
So,
So
yep.
the buy it now price is what we're guessing.
Yeah, most of them say buy it now because I don't think a lot of these were actual auctions. Yeah, the only text they have is 22.5 inches wide, 22.5 inches long, excellent condition. So Price is Right rules on it. Closest without going over in price. Philip, what is the price listed, at least when I did this?
All right. Well, give me a second because I'm trying to picture. I'm trying to picture the back wall of the main booth in my head.
You're trying to think of what it actually was?
What it actually costs.
All right, we'll get around
and
to
then
you.
what they're
Cindy?
trying to sell it for.
I'm going to say $3.
$3.
I'm gonna say $12.99.
$12.99.
I'm gonna say they're trying to sell this thing for $18.
$18. The actual buy it now price is $5.
Oh man.
Get it!
And I only listed
why I
the
went
shipping
low.
because I thought it was confusing. It's $5 with $4.64 shipping.
They probably went to like USPS website
Yeah.
and typed in like estimated shipping costs, and that's how much it
like-
was.
But it's like you're
It's
paying
an
almost
oddly
as,
specific amount.
well, no, it's just you're paying almost as much in shipping as you are for the item.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably why though.
All right, item number 2 is Catan 2 Gen Con promo enamel pins by Mayfair Games. New collectible ship quickly.
Ooh.
And so they're 2 enamel
So,
pins. One's of
enamel
like a
Oh
sheep,
yeah, I've seen those.
and
Oh,
one's
yeah.
of like a
The robber,
a
the robber
Catan board.
sheep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
totally seen those.
text is new, never used promo pins. Gen Con 2019 collectible pins ships quickly.
Wait, they were from this year?
No, these are. I did not put a date. All I just said
You just
was.
said 2019.
Oh, it does say Gen Con
Okay.
2019 collectible
So the pins are from this year.
So they say
That's
buy
weird.
Mayfair Games, but Mayfair Games doesn't exist anymore. So
Yeah.
I think-
I got
But they had that at one point.
at the
somewhere
first
else.
PAX Unplugged when I was volunteering or I was working.
Yeah.
For Catan, and
I don't-
I
that's-
got the robber sheep.
That's what it says. I think
Yeah.
I did too. But that's just what it says.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean right. Cindy, since you won, you get to start us off. What is the
Really?
buy it now price?
$3.
$3.
I will go with $12.99.
$12.99.
Oh my gosh.
$18.
18.
Oh no, we did it again.
We'll see if it works.
The actual price is $26.99.
Oh wow. So Philip gets that point.
Yep.
Well, I mean, gosh, the enamel pins are selling for like what, $8 a piece?
Yep.
I don't know.
The next item is Unmatched Gen Con 2019 Bruce Lee card promo card. Mono Games, even though it was Mondo Games.
Yeah.
Restoration Games. The Bruce Lee promo card for the very highly Unmatched. That was one that everyone got pre-Gen or Gen Con buzz, and it sold out like day one.
This year?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Bruce Lee pack.
Well, I don't think Bruce Lee packed it, but the starter pack that you needed to play
Well, that's
did.
cool.
The
So this
pack-
is just a single card.
this is just a card.
Okay.
Philip.
So yeah, Philip, you won, so you get to start us off.
All right, so a single card, Bruce Lee. It's a promo card.
It's a promo card, but the funny part is this is going to be available after the fact, I think.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it was an exclusive.
So
I think it was just an early
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go $20.
$20. Cindy.
I will say $15.
$15.
I'm gonna go 5.
$5. Actual retail price is $15.50.
Oh,
I'm hot.
I am not doing great.
All right. Remember how I said legendary James Bond?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Item
yeah,
number
yeah,
4 is a promo card for Legendary, a James Bond 007 deck building game from Upper Deck for Gen Con 2019. 1 super rare promo card for the new upcoming James Bond Legendary deck building game by Upper Deck.
Super rare promo.
Super rare promo. So, Cindy, you get to start us off.
So since it's super rare, I'm
It's
going to
super
say
rare.
that their buy it now is $22.
$22.
I will go with $17.
$17.
$18.
$18. Actual buy it now price is, by the way, board game not included. It mentions actual price is $59.99.
Yeah. Super
Wow.
rare.
Yeah. All right. Now here's a fun one for you. So you know those
All right.
free dice that you always get at Gen Con, the Crystal
The
Cast,
Crystal Cast ones, yeah.
and the MDG, the metal. I think it's metal dice games or something, but it's MDG. They're the coupons you always rip out and go get free
Yeah.
dice for. So item number 5 is a Crystal Dice and MDG pair of Gen Con promo dice. So these are the MDG and the Crystal Cast Gen Con 2019 dice. One of each.
Reminder that the person who's selling these got them for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Cindy, did you get the last one?
I did. $5.
$5.
I'm going with 25.
$25. Philip?
I'm going to go with $6.
$6. By the way, all his items come from a smoke and pet free home. You know, all right, so who said what again?
5.
5.
25.
25.
6.
6. The actual buy it now price. Not saying he sold it for this price, but he's asking for $19.99.
So Philip.
Overshot by 5 and a pin.
And that was the last one I had.
Oh, man.
So Colin got zip on that one.
Hey, and I got 3.
Yeah, so there you go.
If only this were
Yay.
golf.
So there we go.
Cool.
I kept it short and sweet because who knows if it was going to be.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that is, I believe that's all we got this time.
Cool.
If
you wanna hear them talk more, you're gonna need to turn in next time. He's got to actually start it.
Oh, hang on. Let me try this again.
I don't know what was different between the two.
Well, on the video portion, he's got to do his little shwing-a-ling-a-ling thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go.
Hang on. The point was that
What are you
this
doing?
is great. This is great.
I don't know.
Great stuff.
He's singing me off.
I'm
Is what he's
trying
doing.
to just disregard the. I'm trying to have a clean edit later on, so not mentioning it.
Oh.
There was talking over the beginning, so I restarted it. So, don't need to worry about talking about this, right?
That wraps up this week's show.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this podcast, you can find us on boardsandswords.com. You will also find links to our live play podcast, The Dirtbags of Holding, where we play all the best games that you know and love, and we completely ruin them for you, and you'll never want to play them ever again.
And if you tune in this Wednesday, assuming you're watching this live, you'll hear the rest of the crew who all went to Gen Con talk about more of their experiences and less so much mine.
All right, so you can email us comments and questions at feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Boards and Swords Pod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. You should also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am ColeCakes196 on both of those websites.
I'm Christopher Prof on both of those websites.
And I'm Phil the Dirtbag on Twitter.
And we are also part of the Dice Tower Network still. They haven't kicked us out yet. They have all kinds of board gaming podcasts on there, and you can go out and check out some other board gaming podcasts. And Cool Stuff Inc. does a lot to support the network of podcasts on Dice Tower Network, and you can go there, check out some awesome sales, because they do a lot to support the network. It's awesome. How many times did I repeat myself in there?
Anyways, lastly, thank you for listening,
For listening.
for watching. However we enjoy it.
For
either way.
listening and watching.
For listening and watching. Remember, join us next time. We'll have back to our regular shenanigans. And in the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story. And for Philip, when you had those 2 tokens on your eyes, it reminded me of was it Pirates of the Caribbean, where
Oh yeah.
they put the tokens on their eyes for the
No, that was Troy.
Troy, whatever, where they would
Wait,
do
what?
it for the Sphinx.
Never
the,
mind.
The 2 for the.
They did it in the Boondock Saints too.
When you
Yeah.
when you gotta pay the ferryman.
Ferryman across the river Styx.
The river Styx. The river
Styx.
Styx.
I said Sphinx. Styx.
You did.
So that mumbling was that.
Blah, 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 blah.
Good night. Hey, that was timely.
Been getting better and better.
I like that it just jumped down really low though.
Because I can't. There's no accuracy with hitting this slider with my finger.
Yeah.
Do they make like a wireless mouse dongle? They make a Bluetooth mouse. Just bring a Bluetooth mouse. There we go.
This isn't mine.
That's not yours.
Not yet.
Okay. My statement still stands.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.